cast, ahoy in the day once again to ye mateys. I be Josh the Pirate, and I be back for some more solo game adventures. Checking out some of these wonderful solo games, and now I'm starting to be sent them by people, which is hecking cool. So the wonderful SmallTownCreepy has sent me Father Dragon Mother Hydra, a SmallTownCreepy game, and I'm super excited. It's a very provocative image. Provocative, evocative. It's definitely one of them, probably both. Hey, Crisp and Crunch, good to see you, as long as it isn't a rusty one. The reference may not land. Oh, snap. I'm not certain you understood my reference then. As in, how many spoons you have available. Everybody has a set number of spoons per day, that sort of bullshit. But I very much agree, Crisp and Crunch. And she is getting better. And I hope you are too, mate. It is a thing and a stuff, and Karen has promised to make me watch Princess Bride soon. We just need to find a time when we're both available, which is why I haven't seen the D&D movie yet either. So, yes, I'm Josh the Pirate. This is my channel, Corsair's Cove, which I run with my lovely lady wife. You can check all of my gubbins and stuff out here. Gubbins is a word I haven't used very much recently. If you like my majestic voice, you can check me out in the podcast There Be Dragons. If you like me and you want to see more of me playing D&D, on Friday night I will be over on the Lore Rights channel. Shout out at the... _ I can't because she's not here. She's streaming herself. Boom. The _ Lorite, playing some D&D, playing some Fae, a Fae Court one shot for their streamiversary, their affiliate-versary, that's the word. That's very cool. I'm super excited for Ardana about that. That's excellent. And tomorrow night, I will be back DMing some teens in space! So you have to say it like that. It's the law. So yeah, that's glorious and fun and lovely. Fun news as well. The stream team just got bigger. The Lost Archives, who are currently streaming some Avatar Legends, TTRPG, very, very cool. I had a sneaky peek, which is actually why I started slightly late. Sorry about that. I was like, ooh, who are these people? Let's check them out. Ooh, cool things. And I can't wait for them to get here so I can chat with them. I've never met any of them. But yes, they are new members of our stream team, which is super exciting. What else do I need to talk about? The lovely people of Ukraine going through a bit of a rubbish time right now. So we like to do whatever we can. It's not very much, but those are links to a couple of charities you could consider donating to. If you have any spare pennies in your digital wallet, please consider chucking them their way. They're going through a shitty time for reasons you can probably imagine. So either one of those links, be grateful if you could go and check that shit out. The second one particularly is freaking awesome, and you get a really nice little booklet. It's really good for me to give away as well. Like, I can just go drop $2 on it and pick up another copy so I can do a giveaway. Sneaky good giveaway, plus I give to charity. It's lovely. What else do I have to talk about? I think it's about it. Other than the amazing chaps over at Wooten Forge Gaming Accessories, creators of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. It's always a little bit fun, isn't it? It's like, which thing is he going to get today? This one is my Chewit Adventurer's Chest. They're really powerful magnets. You can see they're screwed in at the bottom, and very, very powerful magnets. You will not lose your dice out of these, or your minis as well. They're nice and padded on the inside. They also do commemorative coins, like this little boy here. Very pretty things. I love the Wooden Forge guys. They're also, and this is really cool, nice people. They supported me back when I first started out streaming over on Roll for Damage. When I first started my Humblewood game over there, they were on board. They were like, here, let us give you some stuff to give away. Let's get the name out. Let's get the word out. Let's tell people about how the wonderful people at Wooden Forge are. So check them out at woodenforge.com/Corsair's Cove, and you can check out some beautiful handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories made of Australian and exotic hard woods. Most of it reclaimed as well, which is super my vibe. I used to be a carpenter my own self, and I was all about I reconditioned antiques was my thing, and COVID killed that, so there's that. But I still very much like vibe with their ideals in that regard. So we work, we mesh, we do well together. And Nate and Aaron are just lovely chaps. We've had both of them on the channel so far, and I intend to keep having them on because they're both awesome dudes. Right, I think we should probably get into and furthermore it. I wonder if SmallTownCreepy is going to come along and watch me read their game. Pixie Wink Wonk, Shy Puff, Stream of Horror. Don't buy that at all. Yeah, I'm sure one of my mods will come along in a minute and evict you all. Kato Sullivan will no doubt show up later. All of the bots, you real people. If you're a real person and you're watching me, hi, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining. Bloody champions. Alrighty, sexy lady on the cover. Always a good start. She's got 6 arms. Less good. This is, I would say, a Daemonette, but that's because I'm a Warhammer nerd. Hey, NVCDM. Yes, bots quietly. Well, lovely to see you, buddy. How are you? Cool. So, Father Dragon, Mother Hydra. I know literally nothing. I have not read it through at all. It was sent to me by a lovely person called SmallTownCreepy. SmallTownCreepy. They are a streamer as well. They have streamed some Call of Cthulhu. I have watched them do it. It's very good. And they are all about that horror. So, let's have a look. Horror solo TTRPG. It's a journaling game, much like what we played last night, so maybe Karen and I will take a swing at this next Monday. Oh, I love the artwork in it. Based on the Firelights SRD. This work is based on Firelight's product of Fairy RPGs. René Deschays, I can't pronounce that one. Cover art by 80s Child. While Father Dragon, Mother Hydra is heavily inspired by the work of H.P. Lovecraft, I want to make it abundantly clear that, while inspired by his nightmares, I do not admire this man and the things he stood for. Lovecraft was a sexist, racist, and both of those things are to be condemned. Thankfully, he cannot benefit from the mouldering grave from the works of inspired by his stories. Sorry, that's confusing for me. Dyslexia brain. There is some small hope that he does roll over in it whenever a creative person of color, a woman, or queer person turns his work into something of their own and something better than his writings could touch upon. This is a horror TTRPG meant to inspire fear, dread, and similar emotions. Warnings for death, discussion of mental health issues, including themes of insanity, institutions of medication, as well as mutation and disfigurement, and more. Player discretion is advised. Cover definitely giving Slaanesh vibes. I know, right, man? Yeah. It's like, Slaanesh was very sort of, the design is to be androgynous. This is very, it's got all the pointy bits and the horns and stuff. Slaaneshi demons often have more than one set of arms, but there's no claws or anything yet. It's more of a scubbus, except scubbus have wings. But it's still, it's a gorgeous image. It's quite upsetting. I hope it doesn't awaken anything inside me. Come in and I hear dismemberment. So, hey, what's up? Hey, Omi. We are checking out a TTRPG, or a solo journaling game by the wonderful SmallTownCreepy, Omi. That is what we are up. No fascists allowed! Love it. If you're a fascist, you're not welcome here. It's against the rules. If you're reading this and thinking, you just call everyone you disagree with a fascist, then you're probably a fascist, or incapable of drawing inferences from context and acknowledging a dangerous political climate. Okay, let's just skip through. Right. Oh wow, this is the long one. Okay. To play. 9. In the desolate landscape of dreams, where strange geometry and physics hold sway, you watch the change happen. Doors open to unexpected locations, and paths turn back on themselves in a mandling loop. The whole city of Arkham becomes a never-ending hallway that stretches so that you can never quite reach the exit door. Oh, that's why Small Town got brought up. Yes, she said this is her system. It's not her system. I believe she based it on somebody else's system, but has sort of twisted and maneuvered it into her own. People cry out in panic as they are snatched into shadows, go mad with visions you wisely turn away from, or close themselves up to pray for help. But what god do they pray to? To what god do they pray? Better way of phrasing it, much cooler. As in, that's the way it's written, I just read it wrong. In the center of it, at the corners, all around, and above and below and within it, is the cult. Out of the corner of your eye and ever present just behind you, they stalk and wait. They wail in a strange language, chanting and singing unholy hymns. Before your terrible waking catches hold of you, you see them, strange idols glowing pale in the now ever-present moonlight. 3 for the father, 3 for the mother. These are the anchors and the beacons, drawing in not only the cult but their gods as well. They must be destroyed before the father and the mother appear. To play, you need a couple of hours, standard deck of cards without jokers, 2 6-sided dice, a notebook, a document or recording device to act as your journal, something to write on, index cards or random slips of paper, a token of some sort. I think I've encountered this system before. In fact, I'm pretty sure this utilizes the same system as that one about teas. And that's not specific enough, because there was a lot about teas. Tea shelf, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look. The tea shelf. Carter. It's not the same. Alright. Character sheet. Hey, Morphs! Good to see you again. Good evening. I hope you are well. We're checking out something spooky by the wonderful SmallTownCreepy.com. You can print off the thing. Oh, cool. Name, pronouns, appearance. While your character awakens in this strange world with no tools in hands, their attire can be a help or hindrance as they navigate. Imagine walking along a beach and cliffs in stiletto heels. Talk about fatigue. Stats and modifiers. You have 6 stats and begin with the 6 modifier points. You can put these points into any one stat you like, whether it's all 6 in one or 1 point in each stat, or any other variation in between. These modifiers will affect your action rolls, so choose wisely. Encounters can add or take away stat points, sometimes temporarily, other times permanently. Strength, brawn and brawn, knowledge, dex, charisma, intuition, and stealth. Okay. Attached to the character sheet, yep. Making an action. Actions guide your journey across this world. Each one is a self-contained system which helps you resolve the questions you have or the actions you want to take. When making an action, go through the following. Draw 2 cards face up from your story deck. Roll and sum your 2 action dice. Add any modifiers to your roll to get your score. For example, an example of making an action is drawing a 2 of hearts and a 6 of spades from the story total 8. Then roll a 4 and a 6 with your dice total 10. Then add any of your stat modifiers such as a +1 from intuition, making your score 11. 11 or more is more than 8 and therefore a success. Oh! So the difficulty, the DC is arbitrarily set by drawing 2 cards from a deck. I don't hate that. It's a neat idea. My concern is cock-up cascade. But we shall see. Interpret the results as follows, then discard the cards into the discard pile. If your score is higher than both cards, success. If your score is higher than 1 card, complication. Ah, that's fucking clever. I like that. If your score is lower than both cards, fail. Aces are worth 1, jacks are worth 11, queens are worth 12, and kings are worth 13. Cool. Each action is formatted, actions plus modifier, and tells you what happens when there's a success, a complication, or a failure. Yeah. So this is actually like a whole story in and of itself. Like, you're actually going to be playing through it. I'm tempted to actually go get I'm sure I've got a deck of cards. Hang on. Just let me a minute. I won't go anywhere. I'm physically still here. I just can't hear the stream. Not that there's an awful lot to listen to. behind me and above me is about 60 board games, including these. Does anybody remember these? MVCDM, speaking of Warhammer, remember those boys? Combat cards. I found 3 decks of them going through my dad's old stuff. Undead. And most of a Bretonian deck. I'm pretty sure that's a legit full deck. We've also got most of the High Elves, but I don't think I've got all the High Elves. Oh, there's more dice in here. Dice I didn't even know I had. Oh boy, haven't seen those. I know, right? Oh. A little fluffy sack's full of more dice. Oh, those are very boring dice. Oh, those are the ones from Karen's that she doesn't want anymore. What? Someone not wanting dice? Surely there is some actual decks of cards. Ah, ha 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 ha. There we go. What's in this one? Which dice are these? Oh. Oh! Oh. Oh. These are the dice I was given for... These are the first ever set of roll with advantage dice I ever acquired. They're the OG roll with advantage dice. They are black. They are sort of clear resin with a little black oil, like a little black floating wisp in each one. They're cool. This is the original furry sack, and they are so sweet. They're so cute. Ooh, Jean Booty. I mean, if you like, these are not a particularly flattering pair of jeans. These are my mum's dice that I bought for her so long ago. This is not my favorite, but one of my favorite games. This is called Dead Man's Chest. I acquired it. It was a birthday present. Somebody gave me a $40 gift card or something to an online board game store. My mate Josh Lang. And this is the whole game. 2 dice and a bunch of little gems and some tiny, tiny cards. It's a bidding game. It's very similar, but not exactly the same as the game they play in Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a little bit better than that one. It makes a lot more sense, and it's a really nice game. Can endorse. Here's a couple of solo card games, solitaire card games. The Hierarchy, Hugo Kawamata's Hierarchy, which I have honestly never played, but I have played Spaceship, which is a merchant game, I believe by the same person. Nope, Lucas Gentry. Got a bunch in here. This is my box of things that I don't have enough room for. Saboteur. Good game. Can recommend. Much fun. Very well. All in a Loot Crate. If you've never heard of Loot Crate, lucky you. It's a really great way to lose your money. If you're a nerd and you haven't heard of Loot Crate, I'm mildly surprised. Not judgmental, just mildly surprised. Oh, these are the cool cards. Yeah. These are, these are very appropriate for this, actually. This is called the Alchemy of England deck. I don't know why somebody thought I'd like them. I do like them, so it's not that surprise. Saboteur is lots of fun, yeah, I agree. But, they're not really my vibe. They are very cool, though. This is the King of Diamonds. See him reasonably well. Very cool art. But they're not super duper my vibe. A lot of them are blood splattered. It's sort of my vibe. I get it. And I do like fancy things. The reason I'm surprised someone bought them for me is because I don't normally play just a deck of normal card games. But let's do it now. That's why they've been in a box for 5 years. Let's give this system a go, at least. I had loot anime for a few years, but lost interest because I stopped getting things I like. This is the thing, yeah. So, yeah, back on Loot Crate. Loot Crate, They basically just ship you a box of interesting shit. It's bordering on my vibe. Yeah, I'll pay that. They basically send you a bunch of nerd shit once a month. But the problem is, it's always like, it started off being really, really cool, and then I just noticed a pattern of it being the same, like, one of a set of things that you're encouraged to want. Like, this chap is a loot crate. He's exclusive too, as well. You can get a Doc Brown, obviously, but this is a different model of Doc Brown. This is a limited edition loot crate Doc Brown. I'm not a massive Back to the Future fan, but Doc Brown's pretty cool. Like, I've only got 5 pop vinyl minis. I have Furiosa from Fury Road, which is, yeah, she's cool. I have Daenerys Targaryen because I found her in an op shop. In fact, I only bought one of them. No, I bought Daenerys and Furiosa. Then I was given Marcus Phoenix, old man Marcus Phoenix, and Dominic. No, not Dominic. Cole. Augustus Cole from Gears of War. And I was given Chewie, a bobblehead of Chewie, as a present from one of my students. And a few years later, at a different school, a different student gave me Poe Dameron. Bobbleheads as well. They're the only 2 bobblehead ones I have, and they're both Star Wars, which I was like, that's kind of funny. Cool. All right. The coal train. Yeah. That's right, baby. That's not the noise he makes. Can't stop the train, baby. Coal train. It's coal train. He wasn't even given to me. He was given to my brother Hugh, who didn't want it. Hugh is like living the Marie Kondo life. I am not. So, you may have to mark fatigue or sanity points as a result of an action when your fatigue or sanity is nearly full or your story deck is empty. You have to find a safe place to rest or risk death or madness. Ah, okay, so your story deck empties. When you rest, fill an entry in your journal. Shuffle the cards you discarded, then when making actions in your journey, and clear your fatigue and sanity points. Some encounters aid or hinder your fatigue and sanity points. Some restore or remove points. Others add temporary points that are gone after a rest. And still others make the points permanent no matter how often you rest. Huh. Sanity. Yep. Carmine meme. Yeah. If all of your fatigue slots are filled or all of your sanity is lost, please skip to the end sections labeled failure and learn your character's fate. When at last I awakened, it was... Sorry. When at last I awakened, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in a monotonous undulations as far as I could see. A portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions which for innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths. It's H.P. Lovecraft. I have, and this is true, never read any H.P. Lovecraft. Horror isn't really my thing. I'm up for it. It doesn't tickle me. When you start the game, it's a very cool quote though. When you start the game, draw a card from the story deck and place it face up in front of you. Easy. Wah! Ooh. How appropriate. It's a lady leaning on a dragon. The Queen of Diamonds. Can you see the dragon behind her? Sexy lady. Hard to say. She might actually be the dragon. I think she is. She seems to be coming out of the dragon. Okay, done. This is where you are right now. Great. I'm there. I'm there for that. As you explore, discover new areas, you will add more cards to your world map. Each card is a new location. Okay. When you add a new location card, the corner of your card needs to connect with another location's corner. Ah, okay. You know whether the location you are adding is located below, just beside or above your current location. To know whether the location you are adding is located below, beside, or above your current location, compare the numbers of both cards and interpret the result. If the number of the new card is higher than the one on your current location, place it above. If the new card is lower than the one on your current location, place it below. Otherwise, place the card beside your current location. So it's mostly forwards or backwards. Is this the deck of 80s heavy metal album art? It does look rather like it, doesn't it? Where's the box? It's like motorcycle tattoo artists. It's called the Alchemy 1977 England. But it's like, yeah, bicycle. But it's like vampire, werewolfy, I want a skull sort of vibe. This is a very Ardana would like that one. Fairy Jack. The hearts are quite creepy. Razor blades and, chalices. Ooh. The Queen of Spades. It's a merlady. Around an anchor. I would consider having that tattooed on me. I wouldn't consider it for very long, because Karen would probably hard pass on that one. Totally curious how your take on it would be, not gonna lie. As in Lovecraft. I'll be interested to see. Like, Rachel Foucault and her partner Dan are massive Lovecraft fans. Similar to Creepy, but in terms of like, no, the Haunt. Oh, the Haunt. I missed a thing. The Haunt. Ooh, and here I was going to maybe I'd give it a go. Like, I'll try anything once, buddy. Probably more than once. If it's anything like House on the Hill, Escape from the House on the Hill, don't bother. Played it, didn't like it. Like, yeah, a Betrayal at House on the Hill. That's the one. It didn't vibe with me at all. I was just like, this was an awful lot of work for no effort. Never played that one. I mean, I know a lot of people who fucking love it, and there is a D&D version called Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. Yeah, this is it. A lot of people fucking love that game. It does not work for me. Brendan adores that game. Brelis. Brenza in chat. Yeah, he really likes that game. He was the one who introduced me to it, and I've tried it 3 times, and it just never vibed with me. I even won it twice, and I was like, meh. So, yeah, okay. So we are at the Queen of Diamonds. So the next one we add is probably going to be beneath it. Use rolling tables for inspiration. Place slips of paper on top of the cards to note down details about the location, and use your token to mark which location you are currently in. Destroying the idols. I was going to do a game night where we play Betrayal and then Haunt event triggers. I was going to run the Haunt. Ooh, that's cool. But no, the Haunt is a D&D one-shot. Ah, okay. Yeah. Use rolling paper for what now? Use rolling tables and slips of paper. At once my attention was captured. I think we did like Grizzled Detective. At once my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon. Its contour and positions were not altogether the work of nature. Had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures, on whose surface I could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures. The writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound. Alright, buddy. Take care. See you, Omi. The 6 idols of Father Dragon and Mother Hydra help to anchor their power and shift our world. They are also beacons to their cult, drawing more and more of them in. To find the idols, discover a location. If the card you are add to the map is a face card, that location includes an idol. Yay! Good. Oh, maybe bad. I don't know. Not a doctor. The idols are not easy to destroy. Bad then. You will need a tool or a lot of strength to break them. Noted. Break the idol. Action plus strength. Upon success, the idol is broken. Upon completion, the idol is broken, but you have drawn the attention of the cultists and must flee or attack. Upon failure, the idol is not broken. Mark 1 fatigue. So, just to try it out, let's draw a couple of cards. Papiao. An 8. Not good. Not a good start. Oh dear. And a jack. So, a 19 on 2d6s. Unlikely. I got an 11, which is pretty freaking good. If 6s explode, I got a 12. Yeah, I don't think I succeeded that time. That's rough. What's the next two, out of curiosity? An 8, 9, and a 10. I think I might need to shuffle better. Once you've destroyed each idol, the doorway between your world and that of the Hydra and the Dragon will be closed for now. The magic that holds you and the other humans in this jumbled landscape will also release you, and you can stay and help recover or flee to saner pastures. The Cult. Human Cultist. 5-card stack strength. The ones who you have to thank for this nightmare that you are in. They brought the idols here and summoned their unholy brethren to Arkham. These cultists are encountered if the location card is a heart. Deep One Hybrid. Ooh, okay. As part of their pact with the Deep Ones, the human cultists are forced to interbreed with them. Although the offspring are born with the appearance of a normal human, they gradually assume the appearance of their Deep One ancestors in adulthood. These cultists are encountered if the location is a club. The first mutated hybrid you see, -1 sanity point. Oh. A Shoggoth. Great. 8-card stack strength. Formless protoplasm, able to mock and reflect all forms and organs and processes. A viscous agglutinations of bubbling cells, rubbery 15-foot spheroids, infinitely plastic and ductile, slaves of suggestion, builders of cities, more and more and sullen, and more intelligence, and more amphibious, more and more imitative. Great God! What madness made even those blasphemous old ones willing to use and carve such things? At the Mountains of Madness. These cultists are encountered if the location is a spade. The first Shoggoth you see, -1 sanity point. Deep Ones. Yeah, they are damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet shockingly wide and flabby lips. Glassy, bulging eyes and other features less pleasant to recall. Polyphemus-like and loathsome. It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith, about which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, and while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds, I think I went mad then. An amphibious race that primarily served the two beings known as Father Dragon and Mother Hydra, unbelievably cruel and essentially immortal unless slain. Okay. These cultists are encountered if the location card is a diamond. So, I got, like, the worst. This is a Deep Ones monolith. idol, which I failed to destroy. First deep when you see, -1 sanity point. Confront risk. When you act in the face of adversity, action plus strength, dex, or charisma, depending on the situation. Upon success, it's a full success. Complication partial. Search for items. When you search for something, action plus knowledge to see how many items you find. 2 on a complication 1, otherwise nothing, and a cultist is onto you. Talk to people. When you come across another person, you can attempt to communicate with them, buy information, and more. Roll on the tables for who you come across. However, with everything going on, not every human you meet will be sane or safe. You can also attempt to fast talk or persuade human or hybrid cultists if you have not yet encountered combat with them. However, this will not stack a card against them, and their strength against you will remain for the next encounter. Okay. Upon success, they are sane and might be helpful. If a cultist, you may flee. Upon complication, they are not sane and still might be helpful. If you a cultist, you must roll to evade. You must fight if on a failure, and they're not sane and might be dangerous. Buy information. Ooh. When you trade items for help or information, decide on a number of items to expend and action items. I'm just going to skip you down here a little bitty. Fight a cultist. Evade danger. When you avoid impending threat. Get an answer from the oracle. The tables. 2d6. The first is the number in the 10 space, the second is the number in the 1 space. Oh, okay. A D66. This could be a 26 or a 62. Choose the location, person, creature, item that corresponds with the one you are rolling for. It's a good way to get as much variety out of them as possible. A 2 and a 3. 23 is okay. This is a very efficient table. I like it. Old video rental and pizza joint. The arcade machine works. Old woman who lives on the edge of town. Some say she's a witch. A necklace with a religious symbol. +1 intuition while wearing. Ooh, that's handy. Success! You found the 6 idols and means to destroy them. They lie broken and can no longer be used to tether our reality to that of the old gods. Arkham's physics and geography are restored to normal. You can leave, and people can enter. Hopefully people better equipped to deal with trauma and madness than you. What cultists survive are able to escape, able to try it again in another place with other idols and magics, able to damn some other people and other towns with their madness. Hopefully you won't have to worry about it, though. For now, celebrate. You're alive. You survived. You won. Failure from fatigue. Oh, various failure states. I like that. Cool. Failure from insanity. Queer autistic writer. Creator and gamer. Forever DM, GM, storyteller. You can find their work at SmallTownCreepy.com or follow them at SmallTownCreepy on Twitter, Instagram, and more. Looks cool to me. Tonight is not the night I try games, but I will. Eventually, I would like to try this one. But not tonight. I think it looks cool. I don't really know what more to say about it. It's exciting. Hey, Tony. Good to see you. Guess who finally got his internet back? Is it Tony? Is that why he's joining us now? I am glad to hear it, mate. Yeah, we just had a look at Father Hydra, Mother Dragon. I think I would be way more excited about it if I was into Lovecraft. And I have been told more than once by the lovely Rachel Fuka, and particularly by Dan, not Dan Swelter, but the other Dan O'Brien, that I'd probably love it. And there is a lot to be said about divorcing the work of the artist from the artist themselves. Case in point, J.K. Rowling. You can love their world without, and the things that they created without necessarily being in love with them. You can actually also feel vice versa about people. For example, another one that jumps to mind is Johnny Depp. Love some of his work. Some of his work is atrocious, or just massively overwooed. But he himself is a trash fire. So look, there's a lot of, and I've never really gotten the adulation of celebrity. The way Bill Bailey says it, which is funny because I just quoted a celebrity, but a celebrity that I don't adulate, but I do like. I have a lot of respect for. He's very funny. I enjoy his work. But this is the thing. I like Bill Bailey for his work, but I don't necessarily need to like Bill Bailey to like his work. Nor do I need to like his work to like Bill Bailey. I happen to like both. And yeah, I've never really gotten the sort of the cult, the sort of the way people follow it so much and care so much about these people they've never fucking met. It's just like, but they're very pretty and I like their movies. And I'm like, that's fine. And you can like how pretty they are and like their movies without caring about them. I've barely got enough care in me for like 24 people. I'm not going to care about people who are on the other side of the world, who I've never met, who make good movies sometimes. Don't necessarily always make good movies, but sometimes. That's my rant about that. Alright. Well, that's Father Dragon, Mother Hydra. Fascinating, interesting. The Village Necromancer was the other one. There's one that I want to show you because it's fun. It's a bird. Where is it? Oh, where are you? Butterfly Court. Let's try Butterfly Court. Ooh, that's pretty. Alright. Second look. Second thing. Hey, Mooncloud! Lovecraft can be hard to deal with due to the inherent racism in his writing. Yeah. And I'm someone who does struggle. Like, we were recently doing a session 0 for a game, and the DM asked me, hey, any hard passes from you? And I was like, oh, the usual things. No graphic descriptions of violence against children or animals. I'm okay with graphic descriptions of violence against me and my character. But children and animals, children particularly, didn't realize it was a thing that I had. I didn't realize that was something that would bug me, but it does. But animals, I was like, yeah, definitely don't do that. Nothing like when I watch John Wick, I normally start about 25 minutes in. I'm like, I know the dog is dead, but I don't want to watch it die again. And there was a movie with Tom Holland in it, where his dog was drowned by the guy who was trying to hunt him down, to upset him. Only to upset him. The dog had, there was no particularly good reason to do it. And I was like, I almost stopped watching. I was like, this is really good. It's a good film. I can't remember what it's called. But really, really good film. And yeah, I almost stopped watching. And I was like, wow, okay, didn't realize that was a thing. That I just did not like at all. Though admittedly my dog had died relatively recently. But yeah, I didn't actually put those two together. Yeah, can't handle the doggy scenes. Oof, out of context lines as always. Yeah. What was I saying? But yeah, the other one I didn't realize was, I wouldn't have said a few years ago, but role-playing racism, handling racism thrown at you in roleplay is surprisingly not so much difficult, but irritating. I didn't find it really confronting. I didn't feel it was like, oh god, oh, I really hate it. Oh, I've never really dealt with it. I am a white man. Racism is just one of those nice things that only is positive for me. And I can say that I grew up in Singapore. I had 3 years in Singapore when I was younger, and racism is very much a thing there. And if you're white, it works for you, and everybody knows that. There is an assumption because if you are white there, then your parents are probably being paid extremely well to do what they are doing. So you get treated properly. It's the safest place in the world for a white child because no one's going to abduct you. That's dangerous because the government will come down hard and they have the death penalty. But I played a half elf in an extended campaign, and no one told me at the beginning that the elves would hate me for being half human, and the humans would hate me for being half elf, and we were stuck in the middle of a war between the elves and the humans. So there was just nowhere I could go where I didn't get just base level racism. And I can't pretend to be an elf because I've got a beard, but I also can't pretend to be a human because people notice the ears every fucking time. And I'm like, so I put my hood up, and they're like, I see the pointy ears. And I was like, my hood is up. I'm deliberately covering this up. I considered having my character mutilate himself to be able to pass as a human. I find it unnecessary for racism to be brought into games, specifically because it's supposed to be fun and safe. It is, and, like, my Humblewood game is very much about racism. It was not where it started, but it is where it is. However, we don't get the characters don't take the brunt of being racist, people being racist at them. The problems are because of racism in the story, but the events, the things that the characters deal with, are the results of racism, not actually racism itself, which I think is a good way to deal with that sort of thing. Because the current. It's like fighting a slave. Like we put the slave. I had a slave trader in the story at one point. And AJ Winters, with absolutely the best of intentions, messaged me in the break saying, "Hey, dude, super super bad idea to put the mention of slavery into the story." I'm like, but you killed the slave trader as you were supposed to. Slave trader is one of the jobs that is just so morally unambiguous. You kill that person and you don't feel bad about it. I was like, what character can I put in that they are obviously supposed to kill? Put a slave trader in. That's a safe bet. No one goes, "Oh, poor slave trader." No, you don't. Going for a lurk for a bit. Oh dear. Food poisoning, Mooncloud. Sorry to hear it. Couple of years ago, a convention game, we played a sort of time-traveling party, ended up in Alabama as a sheriff in post-World War II, who ended up teaching 2 African-American families what's what, told the GM and the author of the scenario that it made me feel sick. Oh dear. Yeah, that's not alright. 2 African-American females. Oh, even worse. I misread. Oh, dear God. Yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna put that shit in, this is why session zeros are important. For one-shots, it's a bit hard, but yeah, you need to be clear about what it's about. Yeah, safety in RPGs is very important. We have a sheet for people who come and play, like, longer form with us, to just like, hey, can you fill this in? Just let me know if there's anything you definitely don't want me to include. Oh, that's rubbish. And did not get... Not from the lettuce. Weird, Mooncloud. Alright, well... yeah, have a good lurk, mate. I hope you feel better soon. I find it a bit weird if my DM would be racist to my character or anyone else's, but it's okay if it's an evil we gotta take down. Yeah, absolutely, Morphs. And I think, yeah, that's the thing. But, like, yeah. It's and with it's in the podcast. It's in There Be Dragons, and it's Scan. Scan is a half elf from a place where half elves are not common exactly, but semi-regular. Hey, GM Radio Rob, unlurking for a bit before bed. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're in a discussion about racism in RPGs. That's where we are tonight, turns out. Not a problem with me. Cool. We will eventually look at Butterfly Court, which is a solo... I think it's a group game. Court intrigue game. No dice, no masters, which will be interesting. But before we do that, I'd like to finish the thought. Scan, comes from a place where half-elves are a thing, and just they happen semi-regularly, and now he's in a different part of the world where everyone hates them. And it's usually... Matt deals with it relatively well, but he did not tell me at the beginning that would be a thing. That this is a roadblock you will often come across. Like, you will be bashing your head against this for the entire campaign. And it comes up less and less frequently, but it came up pretty recently, and I was just like... They were like, it's weird that they would send somebody who's a half-elf to do that. And I'm like, it is weird, isn't it? But they did. And they're like, yeah. He's like, charisma check. And I'm like, fine. Charisma is a very good stat for me. And I was like... I lie, again. You convinced them. Yeah, fucking right I do. But I did. I'm also deliberately hiding that I am a half-elf. He's like, oh, you need to tell me that. I'm like, assume it. From now on, we're in a human country. Assume that Scan is pretending to be a human. The problem is, he's also obviously foreign because of his accent, which I don't stop doing. I think I caught the tail end of the previous bit of solo dice rolling. I've been playing Ironsworn Starforged myself. Ooh! Is video game? Is card game? Is board game? What is? Tell us. I do not know of Ironsworn Starforged. Is it an Ironsworn Starforged situation? Is the Starforged completely unnecessary subtitle? Is it one of those games? It's like, what was it? Sorcerer Endbringer. Like, the Endbringer doesn't mean anything. It's not really a word. RPG, designed to play solo as well as GM-less and with GM. Oh, cool. That's very, very flexible. I like the sound of that. So GM Radio Rob, I picked up like 100 solo TTRPGs and stuff, and started looking at them, like mini stuff, indie stuff, and this is my continued investigation into them. And I got sent one by my lovely friend SmallTownCreepy, which we just had a look at. It's a horror journaling solo TTRPG, or RPG. Not so much tabletop, but there's dice and cards and stuff. Ironsworn is the rule set. Starfishes is the setting. Right. Cool. Yeah. The hook. The hook. It's kind of warranted. Ironsworn is a dark fantasy RPG, so able to group play GM-less or Starforged, the science fiction version. Right. I understood Starfish's Crispin Crunch. I got it. I enjoyed it. All right. Enough about racism. That's a fun thing to say. I'm going to change the music to something a little bit more lighthearted. In fact, you know what would be perfect if we're going to do something that is a court intrigue game? Or look at one anyway. Where are you? Where is my court intrigue music? Who's arriving for the party? Come on. Oh, you pain in the ass. I've just rejigged all of my Sirenscape, and now it's all in different places, and I can't remember where anything is, because a different me sorted it out very sensibly. And I can understand some of the logic behind it, and some of the logic, not so much. Did I rename it? I did. I renamed it. Festival Moment, Peaceful Moment, Wedding. It was Wedding. There it is. Enough with racism. Yes. Enough talk about racism. Both are completely standalone RPGs. Cool. Enough of the racism. Let's play this game. All right. Butterfly Court by Mishka Grifka Wanda. Fun. Okay. It's another quite long one. 46 pages. Right. A jagged but lush coastline, equally comprised of verdant growth and storm-grey cliffs, powerful rains that pummel fishing boats but nourish the bountiful farms further inland, and nestled in a natural harbour, presided over aquamarine waters and dangerous reefs, the city of Fels. Fels is the jewel in the crown of the country of Praesia, which is its glittering streets and equally colourful courtiers give it the name it's more often called, the Butterfly Court. Ruled by the enigmatic Aitolas, the Butterfly Court is a knotted web of depths, whims, fancies, and rivalries. While many may dismiss the courtiers of the Butterfly Court as frivolous nobles and their hangers-on, their actions nonetheless determine the fates of Praesia, and with the ambitious Queen Eora in control of the neighbouring country Asmarae, the peasants agitating for more rights, and mysterious woodkin stirring intrigues in their own mythic court, that fate seems more uncertain than ever. Yeah, cue the harpsichord music. Exactly. In the Butterfly Court, you play as a member of the titular Butterfly Court, the court of the monarchy of the kingdom of Praesia. The seat of the court in the capital city, Fels. The current monarch is Aitolas. The neighboring country is Asmarae, and it's ruled by the Queen Eora. So everything else is up to you. Ooh. This includes the exact nature of the Woodkin, who are designed to be supernatural beings with their own culture and court. They could be fairies, elves, trolls, elementals, anything you like. Don't feel like you have to decide everything in advance. Players can add details about the setting and people as the story unfolds. Butterfly Court can also be modified to take place in a setting of your choice inspired by various pieces of media or one of your group's own creation. Feel free to keep and change whatever you like, including mixing and matching details. Sick. How to play. Butterfly Court is written to be played with no dice, no masters, based on Avery Alder's Belonging Outside Belonging. It is collaborative, GM-less storytelling game. Each player controls a character as well as elements of the setting and the NPCs. There are no dice. The only mechanic is the token, which can be gained by players according to the comfort moves in their playbook, or by interacting with another's lure. The token can be spent in order to take challenge moves according to your playbook. Anything not covered by your comfort or challenge move is yours to narrate as you wish. What's a playbook? Presumably just the character type, right? Setup. The first step of the game is to address safety. Good! Another one. I recommend using safety tools for collaborative games to make sure that everyone at the table is safe and having fun. One such tool is lines and veils. Give players a moment to share, for instance, the writing in a shared Google Doc, their lines, topics they do not wish to have, and their veils, topics which are okay off-screen. Yeah. I have a pretty simple one. I've never actually had to have it invoked, which is really cool, but I tell my players to do that. Just like, don't need to say anything, just do that. I ought to see it. If I don't, immediately stop the game, do it again. But, yeah, and we will stop immediately as soon as I see it, and we will probably take a break and discuss. I've had it happen on my channel, but not on my stream, and what was really irritating was that it wasn't going to happen. And it was a player massively overreacting. But having it is still important. Like, I don't know, like, saying massively overacting might actually not be fair. I don't know exactly their level of trauma with that particular topic, but given the way they were acting about it, it did feel like an overreaction. Particularly given that I would have said, like, just from listening, I was like, that's clearly not what's going to happen here. And you're only in this because you specifically went down this road to talk to the person that has started this coming back at you, so there we go. But it's still an important thing to have, and we still stopped and we still talked it out, and then we proceeded with the story as was happening. No, we didn't retcon anything. We just wanted to be clear that that was going to be okay, and that's why we have it. Next, all players should customize their version of Praesia by working together to answer the following collaborative questions. Choose 2 current issues facing the country. Famine, drought, peasant rebellion, foreign powers pushing the border, disgruntled nobles brewing a coup, economic depression, yada yada yada. Wow, those are all just options. Each player answers one of the following questions briefly. What scandal recently rocked the court? What is the whole city looking forward to? How is Praesia's neighbor Asmare more powerful, and why is this a problem? Something has recently become a passion for the upper classes. What is it, and why is it difficult to do or obtain? What complication to the line of succession recently arose? Ooh, a prophecy about the kingdom has been announced. By who? And what is the prophecy? Rebellion stirs. Answer one of the following questions. Okay. This makes it quite replayable. What is their grievance? What unsettling stranger has recently arrived at the capital? What unique feature of how your version of Praesia is run? Decide together. What 2 factions are currently opposing each other within the court? Who are they made up of, and why do they disagree? Feel free to sketch out only a little information. The rest will be decided through play. But the 2 factions on opposing sides of the faction tracker. You will find out the tracker during the reactions phase of play. Described below. Cool. Phases of play. Phases of play starts as follows. Idle dreaming, scenes, reactions. These 3 scenes make up one cycle. You may play as many cycles as you like. Oftentimes 3 or 4 will provide time to tell a satisfying story. You may play more. Butterfly Court is not ideally suited to single session play. At the end of a session, regardless of where the cycle of play you are, I recommend taking time for a wrap-up or debrief. Okay? Idle dreaming. Informally, discuss what kind of thing you'd like to see in the next scene phase. Is there a pair of people you'd like to see talk with each other? A particular set piece you'd like to have a scene in? A tension or problem you want addressed in fiction? You don't have to have an exact plan. It's okay to suggest something without knowing precisely how it will come about. Everyone should have a chance to contribute. You may not have a chance to enact all of these ideas in one phase. That's okay too. Scenes. Together, frame and play out scenes from your idle dreaming phase. Feel free to narrate your character's actions in first or third person, using moves and tokens when relevant. Playbooks have comfort moves and challenge moves. Enacting a comfort move gives a player a token. Enacting a challenge move requires spending a token. Okay. In-game currency. Enacting... Additionally, the lures in the playbooks promise other players a token for interacting with them in certain ways. That's cool. If someone fulfills a lure of your playbook, award them a token! When you gain, spend, or award a token, make sure to let other players know. Lures from playbooks only activate if a character with that playbook is in the scene. Feel free to request a token from another player if you believe you have fulfilled the lure, as it may slip someone's mind. Yeah, if they're focusing on the scene. Faction tracker. During play, keep in mind which faction your character belongs to. They should attempt to further their faction's goals as well as their own personal ambitions. In the reactions phase, you will mark the faction tracker based on your actions during the scenes phase. The faction tracker represents how much the court as a whole is leaning towards one side or other of the issue. If it is filled completely in one direction, the majority of the court and the powers that be are swayed in that direction, and the issue is considered decided. Alright. Players who do not have characters in this given scene may play NPCs or add suggestions for the setting. When the scene has gone on for some time, also feel free to ask, is there anything else we want out of this scene? Dear me. And wrap up accordingly. Once the table is played through several scenes, close out the scenes phase and move to the reactions phase. Generally, when framing scenes, it's helpful to decide whether it's a one group scene a scene with 2 player characters or a scene with just 1 player character and an NPC, or another combination. Knowing whether they're going to be in a scene in advance can help players prepare. Of course, sometimes in the course of the scene, it might be the opportune time for a character to either leave or enter the scene. There's no need to end the scene with the same people who started it. Reactions. In the reactions phase, players mark the movement of the faction tracker. Each player decides whether their character's actions have furthered a faction goal. If the majority of players have acted in support of a faction, tick 1 box on that side of the faction tracker. If it's tied, tick 1 on each side. Thus, it will take at least 5 reaction phases to fill the tracker. After that is decided, each player can narrate a short vignette about their force at work's reaction to the outcome. For example, if a group marks a box on the astrologer's side of the astrologers versus tea leaf readers, the player of the whispers might narrate how a famous tea leaf reader had to withdraw from the capital after suffering a scandal. Or the player of the winds might describe new technology that's allowed more accurate star charts, raising astrology's popularity. If the tracker is filled in either direction, the players should decide how the faction issue is decisively resolved in that direction. Frame a scene where it takes effect. For instance, if the factions are war versus peace, and the faction tracker fills up on the side of peace, players should work together to narrate how peace talks between the countries could succeed. Okay. In summary, the reaction phase goes: determine which faction gets to tick on the faction tracker, narrate scenes accordingly, decide a new faction issue if necessary, if everybody wants to continue, basically. Hey, Azazel. We are looking at Butterfly Court, which has got some pretty pictures. Pretty pretty ones. Wrap up. At the end of the session, leave a few minutes to reflect on the gameplay. I recommend going through stars and wishes, where each player states at least 1 star or thing that they think went really well, and 1 wish, something they'd like to see more next game. I think that's really nice. Very like favorite moments. But I like the wishes idea as well. In fact, I might make a little notelet in my little booklet. Wishes. Or wrap up. Like that. Never heard that concept before. Play materials. Playbooks. Here we go. Playbook options. The artist, a passionate creator who is dependent on others for their survival. Lure. Whenever someone agrees to be your muse or model, they gain a token. Ah, okay. Retainer, a powerful servant, close to the nobles, but nonetheless a servant. When someone asks for your help with something difficult, they gain a token. Oh, okay. The newcomer, an awkward entrant into the complicated world of the court. Whenever someone gives you advice, they gain a token. The climber, an ambitious careerist, searching for success or a place to belong. Oh, guys, I did not get enough sleep, hey. I've also been talking a lot. Whenever someone lets you use their resources to work toward your own goal, they gain a token. I like that. Bureaucrat, master of secrets, embroiled in court intrigue and plotting. Whenever someone tells you a secret, they gain a token. Nice. The scion, an heir of a noble family, burdened by expectations and duty. Whenever someone asks for you to do your duty or perform a risky task, they gain a token. The eminent, a meddling noble who seeks to arrange the fortunes of others. Whenever someone accepts a gift from you, they gain a token. Cool. Okay. Wow, okay, so the playbooks are fairly thorough. Wow, okay, so the playbooks are 3 pages a pop, by the looks of it. So probably most of the rest of the thing. So that's the rules right there. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at the artist. Inspiration strikes and keep striking. Your hands, your voice, your limbs, your eyes, whatever is your instrument, it is of rare quality. You are an artist, and a supremely talented one at that. Talented enough to catch the attention of the court. Your noble patrons give you the fame and financial security, and they also have you tangled up into their own machinations and intrigue. Suddenly, it is a matter of politics. Who you will sell your work to, which parties you will attend, whose children you will give lessons. Will you be able to retain both your own renown and your integrity? Alrighty, take care, GM Radio Rob. Lovely to see you. Take care. Have a good night. Catch you later. Hey, Azazel. Oh, I've already said hi to Azazel, but good to see you, Azazel. Thanks for joining us. The artist is creative and talented, and their work has become sought after by everyone with money, influence, or both. They are powerful in their popularity and cultural influence. They are weakened by their dependence on the court's taste and patronage. Right back at you, buddy. Play to find out. Will you achieve lasting fame or die a one-hit wonder? Can you inspire deeper emotion with your art and perhaps even change the world? Will you find someone who loves you regardless of your popularity? So these are sort of your, not necessarily your goals, but yeah, stuff that you seek to learn about the character by playing the game. Lure. Whenever somebody agrees to be your muse or model, they gain a token. Choose 2 aesthetics. Unkempt, dreamy, elegant, fashionable, sensual, eclectic, severe, statuesque, bohemian, or daring. Choose an artistic talent. Instrumental music, sculpture, painting, ceramics, drawing, fashion, singing, woodwork, writing, dance, acrobatic, textile arts, theatre, or sex. I love that that's in there. I want to play this. I like this one. This is very much my vibe. Yeah. I want to not just play this, I want to play this character. I'm the artist. But I feel like, because it's basically just me living out my, life, but in a time when art was supported more. It's a weird time. Could find some willing participants. I'm sure I probably could, yeah. While I've been looking at this, I'm like, I wonder who I could get to play this with me. And I do mean the game. Oh, yes. Stop it, Azazel. Choose an ambition to take my rival's position as the official court artist of textile art and sex. It's the Futurama quote, isn't it? He's the only man ever to win Olympic gold medals in both limbo and sex. I reckon if you're good at one, you're probably quite good at the other. And I do mean sex. To challenge the world for the better, to create a work of unquestioned brilliance, to become the center of a new artistic movement. Right here. To ignite the common people in revolution. Yeah, mine are very much to change the world for the better and to become the center of it. I want my own cult, but I also want the world to be nice. Choose an inspiration. The staircase into dark water that haunts my dreams. Fuck yeah. The last lingering touch of my lover's fingertips before they are killed. Oh dear. The sound of hundreds of people singing at the same time, voices raised in unison. The mysterious crystal that sits on my table, sucking in light. The spirit that whispered a warning and saved me from a lightning strike. The bell that calls wild animals to me when I ring it. Disney princess? I'm having that. That, definitely, Disney princess power. Mm-hmm. Now, let's be honest, I'm creating this person. Notepad time! Okay. Caspar! von Dietrich. Caspar von Dietrich is, I want to say, I like sensual. I like eclectic. I like bohemian, but I feel like bohemian and eclectic are fairly similar. Gotta run with it when you get the inspiration. I absolutely do. Yes. Yeah. I want to say elegant. And eclectic. I'm just writing me here at this point. Karen and I collect teacups. Like proper, like tea service teacups. The cup, the saucer, and the cake plate. You have to have all three, otherwise it's not a proper teacup. We don't use them. We just collect singles, very pretty ones. We've got like 15 or so. Just whenever we find one, we're like, oh, pretty. If it's not pretty, we don't buy it. She's got one that I hate. We've been collecting them our entire relationship. We just, our wedding china, we are slowly acquiring. It's sort of like our couple china. I collect willow pattern china. And yeah, we acquired a small set from my grandmother when she died. And we've just been slowly collecting more, like an amorphous willow pattern blob. Eclectic is my vibe. You should see my living room. Every item of furniture is different because I've customized them myself. Do you use them for tea? Occasionally. Very occasionally. Karen had a birthday party, I think 32nd birthday party, where we had a tea party. It was cute. And we used them then. We also collect tiny bowls. Like, yay big tiny bowls. This isn't one of them, obviously, but about that size. Because we were given 4 as a wedding gift, and we were like, these are pretty, I guess. Never found a use for them, because they're tiny bowls. They have no real function. But they are bizarrely popular. They are like rice bowls. Daily tea showing. Ooh, cool. Interesting. Who? I am curious. Alright. Instrumental music, sculpture, painting, ceramics, drawing, fashion, singing, woodwork, writing, dance, acrobatics, textile arts, theatre, sex. You know, you want to put sex in there, but I'm not going to. Textile arts. Lost Archives is raiding. Lost Archives, you bloody champions. Hey, stream team buddies. Good to see you guys. Nice to meet you finally. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. So, hang on. Yes, welcome, new stream team friends. Owen, you excellent individual. Thank you so much. Throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat, everybody. I will throw up some of our Arthur Goose raids. If you mess with the honk, you get the bonk. Guys, welcome. I hope your game was good. I watched a little bit of it before. Avatar Legends, eh? Have you just started? Is it a new thing? So, Absalom Dak, hey buddy. Let's have a shout out. Shout out at the Lost Archives. Greetings, you excellent beans. Owen as well. I'm just going to put up a link to our Discord. Join our Discord. There is a self-promotion channel in there. Whenever you go live, put a post up and we'll come watch. That's what we do. That's members of Rolling Together Stream Team. Guys, thanks so much for the raid. You fucking legends. So, I am Josh the Pirate. Nice to meet you. This is Corsair's Cove, and here I run D&D and other TTRPG systems, and I'm looking at a new one today. It technically is a solo game, or it could be a solo game, but it's more of a several-player game. About court intrigue, about collaboratively, without a GM or dice, working out the narrative to a solution to a story, to a problem that the game prompts you with. And I'm in the process of creating a character, Caspar von Dietrich, who is an artist at the Butterfly Court. I'm going to gather a group of people and play it, because it sounds fun. Hope you enjoy the Avatar Legends. I have the proud honor of being one of the first channels to host it. My younger sibling, Rhythm in the Mind, was one of the very, very, very first DMs to ever run it on stream. Because we got in contact with them while they were still kickstarting the game and said, hey, can we try it out? Over on Roll for Damage. He wound up running like an 8-game series, and if you would like to see it, it is on our YouTube. Sneaky YouTube plug there. It features the wonderful AJ Winters from Winter's Tales, Matt Brown, Briefcase from Split the Party. It's a pretty good cast. And Rhythm in the Mind, of course, in the DM seat. Yeah. Neat game. Really cool system. Really cool story. I hope you guys have fun with it. Shameless plug. Absolutely. I'm a pirate. Shameless is my middle name. Actually, it's Jonathan. Josh Jonathan the Pirate. No, my middle name is Luther, actually. But a pleasure to meet you guys. So yeah, we are looking through... This is my Tactics Tuesday, Tyrsday, where I look at various other RPG systems. I thought it was Seamus. Actually, fun story, Absalom Dak. My middle name is Luther James. I have two middle names, because I'm a fancy boy. And James is the English version of Seamus. Seamus is the Irish version of James. Don't know how that works, but believe that is true. So yeah, technically my middle name is Seamus. There you go. Joshua Luther James Walker. One of 4, I believe, in the world. 2 of the others are in Nigeria. Nice, yeah. It rolls off the tongue quite nice. I quite like my name. Very interesting. And now you have all the information you need to stalk me. Good name trivia. Yeah, thank you.
Looking for stalkers again.
What? No, we just got raided by the Lost Archives, who are new members of our stream team.
Yay!
That's my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies. Devon Knight. Joshua James, that's my name. Really? You must have been born around about the same time. You can call me Owen. I will call you Owen. Hey, Owen. Nice to see you, mate. Yes, welcome. Thank you very much for coming in and joining us and bringing your lovely people. I hope your game was great, and I'm going to get back to what I was doing. Please stick around while I investigate. Hey, reading aloud, you have no middle name. Well, I've got a spare. You can borrow mine if you like. I adopted one for writing. Yeah, awesome session of Avatar Legends. Good, which is legal in the UK. Oh, you adopted one. Okay, cool. Definitely sticking around. Excellent! What's the next system world you are planning to try a campaign with or in? Ooh. Next system or world? Tony. At the moment... I've got my roster is sort of full. Definitely recommend Avatar Legends. The problem with that, Lost Archives, is I've never watched it. It's a little after my time. I've got it. I've got the resources. Very kind of you. Teens in Space! So yeah, well, I am running a Teens in Space game tomorrow night, which is similar to Kids on Bikes. It's the same system, just in a different setting. Gotta say that. It's the easiest one to play. Is it? I've seen it done, obviously. I teched the games that Rhythm ran. So I have seen it done. But I just know nothing of the setting. So it does look extremely streamlined. Karen's played it. You played Avatar Legends with Matt, didn't you?
I did,
Yeah. And you really enjoyed it.
Ah, it's fun.
Yeah. No, it looks really good. I like only 4 stats and a D6 for everything. Yeah, absolutely. It is a very, very cool system. I am really enjoying Teens in Space at the moment. Come and guest on our session. I can get you started. Oh, buddy. I could be convinced. I am in WA. I believe you are East Coasters. So that works. TTRPG for Avatar? Yeah. The Avatar Legends, not Avatar the Last Airbender. That one, not the blue people. Stream Team, hell yeah, buddy. I'm getting Aliens game, together at the moment. Most brutal game you've ever seen. Have you played the Warhammer 40,000 one? Because that one's pretty harsh. I was kind of hoping to give John Carter on Mars a chance sometime. Okay, John Carter of Mars. Again, not one I know super well. I do love the Barsoom mythos, but I've only seen the film. The one I was considering, like, if I was gonna do a new campaign, prepare for lots of derailment. I am totally fine with that. Yeah. Goes back to Roku, Kyoshi. Yeah, I know these names. And I can figure out what I would do probably is play a stranger to the land in that world. I would play as somebody who didn't know any of these things. So it sort of worked. I do not have the time to go and watch them, though, sadly. But what was I saying? Yeah. To answer Tony's question, if I was going to start a new game in a new world, I would probably... The thing is, for long form, I do love my D&D. And I've wanted to, for a while now, run a game of Battletech, as in Mech Warrior. But the system is called Battletech. They do have their own TTRPG system, but I've read it, and it's shit. Catalyst Games, I believe, has had another go at it, but I haven't been able to find the rules for it yet. And, yeah, the character creation took over 2 hours, and I still didn't finish it, and I don't really get it. What are you talking about? I've only got 90 hours of content to catch up on. That's an old game. The thing is, Absalom Dak, they keep adding new stuff. There is Battletech on Kickstarter right now. Battletech Mercenaries is on for another 3 or 4 days right now, and it's for the board game, for the tabletop mini. It's like a strategy game, but the RPG links into the tabletop game, so you RPG it, and then you play the tactical strategy game for the mech battling, which for me sort of isn't the point. I kind of want to roleplay the mech battling. I was like, what? I don't want to. I want to roleplay somebody wandering around in a world. I could wander around in any fucking sci-fi setting I wanted to in an RPG, but I actually want to roleplay getting into a pilot seat and driving the mech. That's what I want to roleplay, and that's the one thing you don't roleplay in it. So what I want to do, and what I have already begun doing, is modifying 5e for Battletech. For the Battletech universe, where is no magic in Battletech. There is, however, science, which is the fun kind of magic. So I want to do that, but the other answer, the first one that did actually occur to me, was another very old reference, Dragons of Pern by Anne McCaffrey. Fucking cool setting, of which I am exceptionally knowledgeable. I reckon I could run a really cool D&D game, or something similar, in that system. I might do Quest, actually. Quest would work well in that system. Battletech Pilots would be your expansion. Yeah, essentially. Yeah, reading aloud. Battletech Pilots would be the expansion. Yeah. I would... I basically just said, yeah, some classes just don't work in this system, but it's precious few. Pretty much just sorcerers, charisma casters generally were the ones that sort of get noped. Bards, it doesn't really make sense. A wizard, it could make sense how their magic, if you flavor it properly, they are just like, they've got some like high-tech doodad that does the thing. So the wizard, to cast a spell, makes a new machine that casts said spell, that does the said thing. Sorcerer, no, it's inherent, right? I mean, you could flavor it the same way if you preferred the abilities of a sorcerer to a wizard. I wouldn't, but the thing is, basically, it's very much a discussion with the DM to build. But where that would be difficult, Dragons of Pern doesn't technically feature magic, but if you're going to just borrow the setting, that would be very, very cool. I've also got one in the back burner of my brain that I just never touched, about a future world, but it's gone techno-barbarism. And orcs, elves, goblins, gnomes, but they're all humans, various genetically modifications. We just use the stats for orcs, dragonborn, whatever. Check out Espergenesis, the 5th ed sci-fi, and give you some ideas. Thank you very much. Noted. Make a note of that as well. I've got a massive list of other things to check out. And in the process of doing so, Espergenesis. Thank you. In the process of checking them out, it's sort of where I started this process, this Tactics Tuesday thing, of finding new systems to play in. And in the process, I found several that I really, really freaking liked. One that was suggested was Last Shooting, which we've run twice on this channel now. Both of them are on the YouTube, sneaky YouTube plug. Yeah, you can check them out there. It's collaborative versus game. You are competing in 2 mech pilots trying to beat the other over a series of encounters across the course of a war that you mutually agree upon. And you make bids. It's based on the final bid system, and you bid elements of your character sheet. First to define what the thing is. So when you start, your character sheet is almost blank. And then when you say, right, I'm going to bid my primary weapon system for my mech. And it's a massive laser cannon that shoots out purple beams of light. I'm like, cool, okay. And then somebody else says, I bid my love interest. Like, and you just bid interesting points of order to the narrative, and then you two of you decide who bid the cooler thing. Oh, Aquatic Archie, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Have I missed any others? No. But thank you very much. Excellent individual. Thank you for joining us and sticking around. And yeah, the person who the two of you agree made the more interesting bid wins that particular encounter and gets to describe the encounter and how they win. But in doing so, they have to use every element that was described. So my laser cannon, the other person's lover, you have to put all of them into it. And then later on in the game, you can also bid to destroy something. So I bid my laser cannon, and it gets destroyed. You can only bid each thing twice. So bids once to define it, and the second time to destroy it. Very cool game. Really freaking love it. Both times I've played it, has resulted in a draw, because it's just a really cool game where if you have to both be up for collaboration, and allowing the other person, like you really need to leave your ego at the door. And both times I played with somebody who fortunately was good at that. So the first time I played was with Brendan, and Brendan and I are really... Brendan is a very good collaborative storyteller. He runs a theatre company that does improv storytelling. And I'm also pretty good at it too. And yeah, at the end of it, we agreed that we couldn't decide. He won one, I won one. And then when the third one came around, we couldn't decide who put the better bid in. There is a rule for tiebreakers The first person who bids to destroy something later, like you can make one final bid, a bid to destroy, and the first person to do so wins. I didn't particularly like it, so but I was the one who'd read that rule. He didn't know about that rule. I said, very well, I bid to destroy this. And he's just like, what? And I said, oh, sorry, there's a rule in here at the end of it, which is a tiebreaker situation. He's like, I didn't know that. Well, I guess you win then. I'm like, no. Because I bid, and then I basically forced him to a truce. And then we both sort of, narratively, we both won. We both agreed to go our own separate ways, and that we were actually friends now. We stopped a war together, whilst being on different sides of it. And then Karen and I played it. And something similar, but a little different happened, because our characters fell in love. It was super cute. Really fun game. Much can endorse. Similar vibes to Butterfly Court, bringing us back. So, Butterfly Court is, a group game where the whole team come together and decide the various elements of the narrative. Then each round, everybody decides what thing they'd like to see in it. It's called Idle Dreaming, and you're like, what scenes, what situations, what narrative elements they want to come up soon or next. Court, as in C-O-R-U-T. C-O-U-T-R. U-R-T. Blech! Dyslexic. Sorry. Yes, that one. Not Butterfly Captured. Yeah. Not that. The other one. And then you collaboratively describe the scenes. If a person isn't in the scene, they are welcome to be an NPC in the scene where the thing plays out, and you RP that. All the while trying to bridge a divide or resolve an issue that has occurred at court, of which there are two factions, and you are trying to convince one faction to make it do the thing, utilizing your characters and their playbooks. So, that's what we're looking at now. And then the final bit is the reaction phase, where you work out if anybody managed to score any points, how the court is leaning based on your actions and the roleplay that you have done. And I am currently building an artist character. I have decided that Caspar von Dietrich is elegant and eclectic. He is a textile artist. He also works in... I like textile arts. I also want to say a performative one. A performative medium. Dance. One thing that I'm super good at, one I am not. Actually, I like acrobatics. Let's say that. Textile arts and acrobatics. Weird. Interesting combination. Choose an ambition to take my rival's position at court as official court artist. I don't think so. I don't think an acrobat textile artist is a particularly good one to be a official court artist. To change the world for the better, to create a work of unquestioned brilliance, to become a center of a new artistic movement, to ignite the common people to revolution. Skilled silk rope acrobat. Yeah. Oh my god. So I do a little bit of circus. In a past life, I lived with a bloke who used to work with Cirque du Soleil, and I learned quite a lot from him. And yeah, I do firework, I do poi. I'm rubbish at juggling. My left hand is mostly for show, but I can stick juggle. I can do devil stick is the thing I'm particularly good at. Which, if you haven't seen it, Google devil sticking. It's pretty freaking cool. It's basically stick juggling, where you take two sticks and you use them to control a third, and you can spin it and twirl it and throw it up in the air and stuff. And you can set it on fire. And you can use bigger things. I have devil sticked a garden... fork? A garden fork? That was heavy. I've done an umbrella. They're fun. That's really... It's a bit weird. I've done a broom. Karen and I performed it professionally, because I then taught her. Yeah. I think become the center of a new artistic movement. Seeks to become the center of a new artistic movement. And if you've never seen poi, actually, they're called flower sticks. It depends on the stick. Flower sticks have tassels on the end. They spin slower, which makes them easier to control. A true devil stick is actually just vaguely hourglass shaped. It's sort of very narrow in the middle, and it gets wider at the ends. And there's normally rubber at the end, so it bounces. It's a pig to control. Flower stick will be just a thin stick of normally pine with wrappings around it. Often cloth, and then usually rubber flaps at the end. But yes, flower sticks. Probably not to alarm panicky Christians. Well, there is that. Let me YouTube. Grizz poi. See if it comes up. There it is. Future is now. Visual poi video. That. I'm going to put a link up because I don't think I'm allowed to show you it directly. But take a moment. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. Check that shit out. It's a really cool piece of audio as well. Like, the music is just good. And Grizz, you can download it for free from their website. This song, which is called The Future Is Now. But also, yes, it's a really, really cool... It's an ad for Visual Poi. Poi are dope. Check them out. So, I think they do poi and stuff, like acrobatics and juggling and that sort of thing. Choose an inspiration. The staircase into dark water that haunts my dreams. I love that. But what it wasn't that. It was the bell that calls wild animals to me when I ring it. Inspiration. The bell that calls wild animals to me. When I ring it. I think I will do this for the next series of One Shot Wednesdays, which is what we do here on Corso's Cove. We do a One Shot Wednesday. And tomorrow night, we will be having the finale of Teens in Space! Check that out. Choose a potential downfall. Addiction, financial debts, illicit love affair, curse, over-involved patron, plagiarism scandal, unusual habit, needy, dependence. Over-involved patron feels very much me. I'll be there for teens. Love it, Tony. See you there. It's face-hurtingly funny, that game. I like either over-involved patron. Yeah, definitely got to be that. I have an over-involved patron. Oh, very cool. Ask one of these questions left and right. Then, give your character a name, pronouns, and description. If relevant, create their title. Some possible names, yada yada. Some Iris Thestios, Damalis Ymir. It's Viking. What was Ymir? YMIR. The first being a giant who was created from drops of water that formed when the ice of Niflheim met the heat of Muspelheim. There you go. The giant. Yeah, there you go. Reading aloud new. Yeah. Frost giant. The first frost giant by the looks of it. Also called Argelmentir. I'm very confident that's not how it's pronounced. Although apparently there were also a character in something. Ymir. Attack on Titan. Something else I have not seen. Pick one of the current issues decided on in collaboration. Note down why your character cares about that issue. Okay, that I can't do until we've got the pick which faction your character can't do. Lastly, out of the listed relationships, either give one to two other players, or choose one to give to another player and create an NPC to fulfill the other. A promising protege, patron, paying student, artistic or creative rival, critical rival. You may also create any NPCs required for your character's story or history, such as a spouse, liege, or relative. And then you get to ask some questions to the other people. I vote for Mimic Companion. Given that Rach isn't here, a chaotic goblin. What? What do I owe you? What favor have I asked you? What has recently challenged my popularity? What theme in my work stands out to you and why? What valuable thing have I taken from you? What unexpected place did you find me recently? Who doesn't love mimics, chaotic goblin? I don't have enough of them in my games. I love this. This is, again, very teens in space, very kids on bikesy, where and also actually come to think of it, very Monster of the Week-y. Where the other players help you develop your character by establishing relationship with them. Very cool. Like a lot. Comfort moves. Gain a token. So you can gain a token by doing any of these. Take another debt, whether financial or social. Accidentally expose your true feelings through your art. Overestimate your influence in front of the wrong audience. Obey the whims of a patron despite hardship. Seek inspiration in sex, drugs, or other hedonistic pursuits. Question another person's authenticity or talent. Interesting. Several of those are quite hard to do. Challenge move. Spend a token. Stun the audience with new heights of talent. Significantly enable another artist. Find a financial windfall. Find beauty in unexpected places. Sever a toxic relationship, to a person or otherwise. Capture the attention of someone powerful. Openly switch your faction allegiance. Ooh, cool. Then we have the retainer, the newcomer, the climber, social climber. You're gonna. Thank you. The bureaucrat. The scion, as in celebrity adventurer. The introducing the eminent, a noble. The work. Forces at work. Okay. Unlike no other No Dice No Masters games, unlike other No Dice No Masters games, Butterfly Court does not have setting elements. Players are encouraged to focus on interacting with each other's main characters during the scenes phase. During the reactions phase, players will narrate how the forces at work react to the events of the scenes phase. It's possible for only a few forces to appear, or for all of them to appear. Decide what makes sense for your story and for most recent events. The following forces are available. Forces at work: the Empire, the Wave, the forces in the world that are beyond human grasp. Some call it magic, some call it fate, and some have other names for it. Changes the fabric of the world, weaves in new threads. Oh, Chaotic Goblin, thanks very much for the sub, you bloody champion. The weave. This stream, more than most, has demonstrated how dyslexic I am. Straight up missing words, letters, other things. How are you? What's going on? Where am I? Stop! Who called me? Interest: upheaval, magic, prophecy, fate, destiny, non-human actors, the Woodkin, wilderness. Explains why I was getting ads, lol. Darn, you Twitch shakes fist. You'd missed the sub. I see. Forces at work: the people, the borders, the winds. Who are the winds? The only constant is change. Time moves ever forward, and flaps of the butterfly's wings changes the direction of the wind in unpredictable ways. The world itself causes upset through weather and natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, tsunamis. They can change the course of human fortunes in the blink of an eye. Technology, like a force of nature in its own right, breaks into history, changing lives in its wake. See, 15 years ago, I would not be able to read this at speaking pace. Progress marches on, the world shakes and changes, and who can really say if the changes are for good or ill? The whispers. Okay. And that's it. Resources. Collaboration. Wow. I like that. You know I do. I think that's excellent. I am going to try and gather a group of people to play Butterfly Court. That's sick as fuck. Yeah. Love it. Love that a lot. Strong work there. Alright. Well. What do you say, chat? Shall we look at one more? What else we got in here? I Was Once, Gender Crisis. This Party Sucks. Queer Solo. Let's have another one of SmallTown Creepies. Let's have a look at Village Necromancer. A solo journaling TTRPG. 20 pages this time. Not quite so much to get through. Hell yeah. Alright. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's change the vibe as well. Lean back. Face to in screen. This is not the vibe for a game about necromancers. Ghost Ship. Let's try that one. There we go. Creepy music. Small-town creepy music, if you will. This is a second Small-town creepy game. Let's have a look. Small-town creepy often pops up in chat. Those of you who stick around long enough may meet them. It is, however, very early in the Appalachians, which is where they live, so maybe not. But hopefully, Small-town Creepy, you'll be watching the VODs later and enjoy. The first one that we looked at was Father Dragon, Mother Hydra, which I would be very interested to try. I think just reading it doesn't do it justice. I think it needs to be actually played. I think it leans heavily on Call of Cthulhu, that sort of game where failure is not just an option; it's anticipated. Like, you expect to not win. And I can see the merits of a system where success is exceptionally difficult and you usually lose without wanting to engage with it. My own self, which is the problem, because I like to win. I find the bad ending quite unrewarding. Like, Jack came over and played the Dare with us. Jack O'Brien, Jack Squarepeg, excellent DM, pro DM. Check him out at dungeonmasterhigh.com. Yeah, he came and ran some Call of Cthulhu for us. Brilliant, really fun game. We had Dan O'Brien and Rachel Foucault, and Karen and myself as the players. Don't we all like to win? Well, this is the thing, Tony. Yeah, I guess probably most of us do, but I think there's a subclass of humanity called Call of Cthulhu players who don't like to win as much. But the trick was, like, we won. We actually won. We won a proper game of Call of Cthulhu, and we defeated the evil witch. We, a bunch of 4 weirdo children, defeated the evil witch and killed Roger, the dickhead, and everything went right for us. And even at the end, with the absolute best possible ending, like literally 1 in 100 chance, as in the final roll was determined by a D100 roll, and the only way to get a good response was a nat 1, and we got it. Even then, there was, you get to live your lives happily, but the witch was still alive after all. She escaped in her cat familiar. And I was like, what? And I was like, that was fun. It was fun. But given how incredibly unlikely the closest to a satisfying ending for me was, and it still wasn't an amazingly satisfying ending, yeah, I struggle with that. So, it's a me thing, not the game thing. But I like a game where I don't feel like winning is unlikely, you know, which is why it's like, yeah, that's fine, but it's not for me. Lol, look, I look down from doing work thingy and see the Necromancer. Nice. Yes, it's a good picture too. The Village Necromancer, which I think is a lovely idea. A Village Witch solo journaling TTRPG based on the game Village Witch. Elliot Silvarian's work. Content warning. Deals with themes surrounding death and dying, including but not limited to animal death, child death, plague illness, suicide, and more. You're free to take each prompt however you see fit, ranging from the dark and horrible, Frankenstein and Night of the Living Dead, to the more spooky fun, Corpse Bride and Frankenweenie. Self-care is advised. No fascists! Intro, gameplay, two-player option. Hell yeah! A lot of these solo games I found so far, I'm like, yep, sounds great. I think you'll enjoy and really hate my scenario for link on this here, Cosmos Cove. Tony, I'll be honest, the last one we played where we couldn't win, when we got to the end of it, I died, and everybody else was like, oh. I was like, yeah, that is a bit frustrating, isn't it? Hello, graduate of Atropos University. Congratulations on completing your training. You are now ready to become a resident necromancer. It's like you go to fairy school in Iceland. You have 1 year to find a village to settle into and complete your residency. While most villages are not as enlightened as we would like, including a short list of these with residencies either in their cemeteries or just beyond. Included is a short list of those with residencies either in their cemeteries or just outside the village border. Success is a milestone best described by yourself. To complete your year of residency, you need only send a letter to the college accompanied by a letter of commendation from a prominent member of the village you have settled in. Failure to complete your residency will require a second year for completion and/or return to Atropos University for additional training. Best of luck, Gregor Grimstone, PhD, DN, Dean. Hello, graduate of Atropos University. Congratulations on completing your training. Best of luck. Gameplay. 1 6-sided die and a tarot deck. Fuck. See card tables for how to play with the standard deck, if you prefer. Oh, cool. You can play with the standard deck. I need a tarot deck, hey. To play. A way to record your story, such as a journal bound in human skin, a blank Necronomicon, or a spell scroll with room in the margin for many notes. Seasons last 13 weeks. The game is pretty straightforward. Your character sets up their necromancy practice and home at one of the villages. At the start of each season, you assess your situation. If you feel there is a need, you can move to a new village at the end of a season during if something horrible happens. If you decide to move, choose a new destination or roll a d6 to randomize your choice. Seasons last 13 weeks. During these weeks, you choose a card for your character per play, or week, if you would like to move at a more leisurely pace. Per day. Right. Each card gives a scenario your character goes through that day. Be as detailed or as minimal as you like when developing that day's scenario. Again, I don't see why you can't dual play this. You can either put used cards in a discard pile or shuffle them back into the deck for a chance to return to this situation at a future date. Do this for 4 seasons, then at the end of the 4th season, move to ending the game. Use your d6 to decide if the scenario goes well or not for your character. You can play that 1 to 3 stands for varying levels of bad, and 4 to 6 varying levels of good. Or you can do odd numbers versus evens. Okay. While Village Necromancer is a solo journaling TTRPG, you can play with friends. Rather than journal entries, your scenarios can be written out in letters to friends or friends who are also playing. Ah, cool, cool, cool. You can send these via email or roleplay as that they are sent to you via magical means such as a ghostly postal worker, a raven familiar, or other mystical method, or through snail mail. For example, a friend and I played Village Necromancer and a Village Witch together via snail mail. I played a Necromancer, she played a Witch. Both from the same magical college. We sent letters inspired by card scenarios along with little additions like tea blends, charms, and it. That is very familiar. This whole thing is very familiar. I know why it's very familiar. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very, very like the tea shelf. No, it's not. It's not tea shelf. It's a culties. A solo tea shop RPG. It's about witches and where are they? How to use these pages? Who are you? You're a witch. What are you blowing? Why are they here? Is it? No, it's the other one. It's the other T one. No, it's not. It must be the tea shelf. That phrase just rung a massive bell in my head. Maybe I've just read it before, because I did sit down and actually read this one a bit. Okay. Card tables. I definitely think you could just play it together, like telling yourselves the story, much like Karen and I did on Monday night. In fact, I really think Karen and I will... I probably just read that, because I know I've read that exact thing before, and it's probably just I read this. Yeah, I did. I remember the skulls. Yeah, that's where it is. Boom. Idiot. Yeah. Why are they a necromancer? Do you come from a long line of necromancers? Did you die and get resurrected, enabling you to have this connection with the dead? Just always had an affinity with the dark and the weird? Do you crave power over life and death? Why, yes. Oh my, yes. World creation. Noir, steampunk, medieval, high fantasy, modern with a magical twist. I like that idea. Pick a village! Whenever a table comes up, I've got a roll on it. Number 1, a desert with an impressive boneyard. Ooh. What does your new residence look like? Is it within a graveyard or a cemetery of sorts? What sort of dead are there? Well, to-do people, or is it the potter's field for the impoverished and unnamed dead? A pet cemetery, perhaps. Oh. Is there a house, or is it part of the mausoleum or crypt? If a house, what does it look like? The witch's cottage standing on chicken feet? Dilapidated mansion? Yeah. I got a wish granted via text, but autocorrect made me a Velcromancer. Every party should have a necromancer, because even if you make the healer mad, the necromancer will still heal and care for you, lol. Siri! Bear with me a minute. Sorry, the dog's barking at the neighbours. Is there a porch, a workshop? Alright, seasons. Start in whichever season you prefer or the season you are in real life. Each season is 13 weeks long and ends if you need to wrap up your time at a certain residence. At the end of each season, assess your situation and decide if you will stay for another season or move to a different location. At the end of your 4th season, move to the ending section. Spring. The icy chill of winter is fading and the moist breath of the spring is upon you. New life begins in both the plants and animals. What seeds are the villagers planting? How do they celebrate in the returning sun? Do they take time to honor the dead? What seeds or plans are you setting this season? What are you allowing to die to act as compost to nourish these plants? Ooh. The sun grows in strength and the days are long and warm. The air is filled with, I like this, story prompt, narrative prompt. The air is filled with birdsong and sound of children playing, and the liveliness of the village, unaware of the closeness of death, even under the bright sun. How does the village handle the heat? Do they have any summer celebrations? Are you taking it easy or working hard? Don't know why I switched that way. Fall. Autumn! What is it with Americans and calling it fall? I don't get it. I know what it means. It's stuff falls out of the trees. How imaginative. Why only that one? Summer. Sunny time! Call it like... Sorry, it's the Englishman in me. I apologize. There's a perfectly good word for it already. Why call it something new? There's a chill in the air and the damp scent of decay as autumn settles in. It also, it's a passion thing for me because I was born in autumn and I love autumn. We're currently in autumn right now in Australia because we're backwards. And I love it. My garden has just started... my garden's doing great. I've kept it alive during summer, except for my grass. I now have currently got a big patch of dirt and sand. Mostly sand, let's be honest. I live near the beach. And grass, the little grass. When we moved in, the back garden was this massive patch of dead weeds. Just because we moved in the height of summer. And it was just horrible. Wet season, hotter season, leaves on the ground season, miserable wet and cold season. I love winter. I love autumn. Autumn is my favorite time of year. Regardless of where I am in the world. Early autumn, favorite time of year. Because I was born in September in England. It's not why I love it, because my birthday's in it. I love it here, even though my birthday is 6 months away. Autumn, I think, comes from reference to gold. Probably. It's probably a Latin. Autumn. Etymology. Old French. Autumn. What does it mean, though? What is the origin of the word autumn? Comes from automapen. It's most notably recorded in the works of Chaucer. What was the season called first? Autumn versus fall? The word autumn comes from French. Today, speakers of American English commonly use both fall and autumn to refer to the season, though fall became more common in the US in the late 1800s. Wow! I do apologize. The first recorded use of the word fall is the name of the 3rd season of the year, comes from as early as 1500s. The name is thought to originate with the phrase the fall of the leaf, in reference to the time of year the deciduous trees shed their leaves. The name of the inverse season, spring, is thought to come from the phrase spring of the leaf, the time when everything is blossoming. Commonly used in England until the end of the 1600s, when it was ousted by autumn. Well, I do apologize. Of value and golden prospect. Aurelius, AU, and all that. Yeah, that was my thought too. Turns out no. It's from Old French. There was probably a Latin root, but it's hard to say. What does autumn mean literally? Maybe was that end of summer, harvest. Waning of summer from the Greek. Lithuanian raudo autumn from rudas, which is reddish. Okay. Old Irish Fogamar, literally under winter. Etymology. Derived from the Latin autumnus, archaic actuminus, or possibly ancient Etruscan. Let's go to Wiki. There's always an answer in Wiki. It's probably the wrong answer, but there's always one. Etymology. There we go. Proto-Indo-European for cold and dry. After the Greek era, the word continued to be used in Old French, automne or automne in modern French. There's a P in it, but I don't think you actually pronounce it, so it's autumn. Or, yeah. Medieval period, rare examples of its use as early as the 12th century. By the 16th, it was in common use. Harvest was actually a very common use for it as well in the Germanic. So a third variation. But yeah, the original Latin. A autu, which is connotations with the passing of the year. So yeah, it does look like AU as in gold. Yeah, but actually, no, I don't think so. Autu, AUTU, has, connotations with the passing of the year. That's Etruscan. There you go. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle. The other is violence. Fall. There is a chill in the air. I will now happily and nobly call it fall because I've been maligning the Americans. They basically just moved out before we decided we actually preferred autumn. Whether we like it or not, we are reminded of things like death, sacrifice, and harvest. What harvest does the village bring in? How do they celebrate? How do they honor the dead in this death season? Is it? Is not winter death season? Isn't that when things die? I suppose I literally just said it. No, things die in autumn, don't they? But they dead in winter. What harvest are you bringing in? What sacrifices have you made? The nights are long and the days are cold, even when the sun shines through. Nature sleeps and the world is quiet, with the exception of the occasional hungry wolf's howl. Are there any winter celebrations that villagers enjoy to bring light to the darkness? How are you handling the long, cold nights? Do we enjoy them or long for the summer sun? Half of everything we take for granted in the Western world today come from the Greek, Roman, or Etruscan thinking. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then ending. Dear Dean Grimstone, thank you for this opportunity to be a resident necromancer. How was your year gone? What was your favorite experience? So, card tables. 1 per day. Wow, you do a lot then, if it's 1 per day. I do 1 a week, I think. It's 13 per season, which means you go through the entire deck in a year. Card tables where you can get randomized story prompts for your necromancer. Some tarot decks will vary on the numbers assigned to certain major arcana cards. In this situation, go for the name of the card, whichever prompt you prefer upon drawing. Okay. Hearts, cups, chalices. Ace of Hearts, you find a roadkill, dead animal that is fresh enough to reanimate. Ooh. A young couple of star-crossed lovers want to fake their deaths to escape their families. Dope. 2, it'll go well. I reckon it goes really well and they die. Oh, creepy, I like this one. Yeah, I much prefer this one. Page. What? Page, Jack Knight. Is that all the same thing? Page. A child asks you to reanimate their pet fish. Who's the page? What's a page? Jack or Knight. A headless horseman is spotted at the border of the village. This would be a great chance to study reanimated dead without a head. I mean, yes. You're awakened by a wandering ghost. What does it want? Diamonds, pentacles, clubs and wands, blades and swords. 5. You are given a small bunch of pies. By who? Are they any good? Yeah, I definitely want to play this. And the Major Arcana. The Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress. Who's the Major Arcana if you've got Kings, Queens, and Knights? Page. I think I'm going to have to get myself a tarot deck because I really want to play this. And I kind of wanted a tarot deck for ages anyway. Author's note. Thank you to Elliot Silvarian for creating Village Witch and opening the license for other creatives to build their games upon the Peregrine SRD. Thank you to beta testers Lindicrat and Paul, can't pronounce that one, for your much needed insight. Thank you to readers and gamers who have received the game. I hope you have enjoyed playing it as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you have shared your Necromancer journey with the world on social media, a blog, or other method, I would love to read it. Please send me a link at smalltowncreepy@gmail.com. Amazing. Oh, I like the little logo as well. That's cool. Alright. That's cool. Yeah, creepy. That one. Hard yes. Hard yes on that one. Yeah. This one, I'm calling it now, will be next Monday's game. We will play Village Necromancer. Karen and I will tell a Village Necromancer tale. I will go and get myself a tarot deck. And we will do it. Because this sounds fun. This is exactly my vibe. Narrative storytelling. And yeah, you could do it 2-player, like, yes, sending each other letters. That would be super fun. If you got really into it, a pen pal relationship. Like, you write them a normal letter and then say, oh, and this is from my Necromancer's persona. And how that could be super fun, I think. As a collaborative writing challenge. As a narrative building game, again, for my students. When I'm teaching, I will definitely use this. You're a Necromancer, somebody who reanimates the dead. Draw a card. This happens. How do you do it? Collaborative storytelling is my vibe, and this is very much it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, splendid, smashing, and wonderful. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I am a bit tired. I taught all morning, so I think I might go away from here now. And raid somebody. Let me just check if there is a suggested raid chain for this evening. In our... Nope. Got no one. Who needs some peeps? Who can we drop some peeps on? The wait table. They are world building. Add. Gross. Well, guys, I've been Josh the Pirate. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed this little more look into solo and small journaling, storytelling RPG games. It looks quite fun. Yeah. So, the verdict on Father Dragon, Mother Hydra. Probably not for me, but I am curious to try. I'll try anything once. Then we looked at, what was the next one we looked at? The Butterfly Court. Very cool. Really liked. Yeah, that seemed sick. I think we'll drop a raid on Fate's Grip, you know? Secluded. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Michele and the gang. I don't know. Oh, have they just stopped? Looks like they may have just stopped. They just finished. Ah, no! I think they just finished. Oh, well. Somebody else, then. You know what? I'm going to throw you guys at Mike Moans. Mike Moans is a champ. Lovely person. I think it would be good to raid him. So... gentles and ladymen, yeah, we'll go and drop a raid on Mike Moans now. Thank you very much for coming and joining me. Butterfly Court, definitely want to try. super hard yes from me on that one. And Village Necromancer, again, yes, a solid yes. We will play Village Necromancer either Monday night or possibly Thursday night, because Humblewood has had to be postponed, I'm afraid. One of the players can't make it, and it's an important one for all of them to be there at. So, in my efforts to be cool and groovy about that sort of thing, I'm being cool and groovy about it, and just saying, yeah, look, Brandiggity is directing a show right now. That's important to him. I value that. So, Brandon is directing a show. We'll let him be, and we will be back with Humblewood of Monsters and Magic Season 4 next Thursday night for the sort of start of the season. Tomorrow night, Teens in Space. Monday night, probably this. Karen and I may, however, do this on Thursday night instead. But we may have a night off because I'm fucking tired, and so is she. The Lawrite is raiding. Hey, Lawrite. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you very much for the raid. We're actually about to raid out our own selves. Bear hugs to me, to the mother of bunnies. I shall, Tony. Absolutely. Lawrite, thanks for the raid, you lovely person, you. I will be over on the Lawrite on Friday night for the Lawrite's affiliate-versary, which is exciting, with a bunch of folks. Marie Tamagotchi will be there. Is Jack playing in that one, Lawrite, or is he on holiday? And I saw somebody else recently popped up in that chat. Terrace will be there, I imagine. Terrace is usually there. What was the name? Dojin King! Yes, that was the one. Jack is on holiday. So, Jack will not be joining, but Dojin King will, which is cool, because I don't think I've ever played with Dojin King. I think I've played with Marie, but I've never played with Dojin King. So that's cool. I'm excited. I get to play with someone new. I will get you the details about my character you asked for. I have been balls to the walls. I will do that this evening once I have finished this. But yeah, we're actually about to head out and raid Mike Moans, because he's a lovely guy. And, yeah, spread the love, like we always do. So, please, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Mike where you came from. Show him the love like we always do. And I will see you next time. Yes, I think so. And I will see you next time, tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel, here on Corsair's Cove. It's actually not the same time. It'll be 7 p.m. AWST. So about an hour and a half ago, tomorrow, that made sense, for Teens in Space with Ardana Terrace, Kato Sullivan, and Malika Moon, for the finale of that business. How exciting. Okay, so I'll go away from here now, because I've been streaming for a gosh darn while. See you guys hopefully very soon. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.